3 antelope hunts packed into one episode. It's a family affair on Eastmans Hunting TV.
So we're looking for a buck that's just the next level up. They're in here, so it's just a matter of scanning this area.
7-inch prongs, 7-inch bases, and an antelope that looks like he's got a baseball bat on his head.
We've been looking for this buck for 2 days. I like to get a little closer. Found a buck out there at 16 inches. And when he turned, he's got over 6-inch prongs. He's over 7 at the base, at least somewhere in the low 80s. We're pre-scouting here before the season starts, putting together our Santa Claus Christmas list here. Let's get down the road.
Hi, I'm Guy Eastman, and this is Eastmans Hunting TV. On today's episode, we're going to go to southern Colorado on a DIY antelope hunt. Ike and Mike and I don't get to hunt together very often, and this could be one of our last times together as my dad's starting to retire. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a little camaraderie, and a little competition to see who can kill the biggest buck.
He looks at you, he's huge, but from the side they don't look heavy.
Oh, hopefully he stays right in here, huh? For tomorrow.
We're looking for 27-inch prongs, 40 inches long. Oh wait, we're talking about an antelope. No, we're looking for something that's 15 inches long. So an antelope that looks like he's got a baseball bat on his head. Actually, you know what we're really looking for? We're looking for a bigger buck than Mike and Guy. That's what we're really looking for. And I let them have the easy one, and we're out here and on the moon. Partially because usually this is good out here. He's got good mass, but off the back, he's got 2 diggers off both horns about that long. So they go, he's got the main digger out the front and then 2 diggers directly off the back. Problem is this rain last night, it's a little muddy, a little slick out here. So rather than tear this road up, I think we're gonna go find some gravel somewhere and leave these things alone and maybe come back this afternoon. Rodeo.
There's a buck out there, popped his head up where you're looking. Right, I mean, right in
All
here.
these?
Yeah.
Little bucks.
Okay.
Mike and I start out the opening day on the opposite end of the hunt area.
This one might be good. We got a buck over here that's got a doe that's really in heat, and she has a fawn and he's running around. But this one buck is really, really a good buck. He's high and heavy and got really great prongs. Maybe Guy can see if he can punch his tag on this buck. It is truly a trophy antelope. We'll see what Guy can do.
Chasing this buck all morning, and we had him down this hole with his does, and those stupid little bucks we saw back here ran over and bumped him. before we got to him, and he made a big circle, and now he's going right back to where we saw him first thing this morning. So we'll loop around, backtrack, and start this process all over again. Little bucks.
It's day 2. Mike and I are hoping to relocate a buck that gave us a slip the day before. Ike, in the meantime, may have just located a good buck in his area.
Come up to this one spot where there's a water tank that they have out here for the livestock. They keep them on all year for the antelope as well. And found this 2 bucks running around this doe and this fawn. And one buck is a really tall buck, and he's got decent diggers, good mass. He is that baseball bat on his head buck I was talking about earlier. So did a little stalk on him. He just never gave us a shot. They went up over the rise, so now we're gonna just go see if we can find a way to get around him and let him come to us. I don't like to chase them. I'd rather them kind of feed into us and have an ambush scenario or a spot and stalk scenario versus just run him around ragged. So we'll see what happens.
On the other side of the hunt area, I'm trying my own approach.
Antelope season here in Colorado is early this year, and so we're kind of in the peak of the rut when normally we're at the end of the rut, and these bucks are just traveling, moving around looking for does. It's been really tough to actually pinpoint a buck and work him. We found this big one. He's moved over here in this area. I'm sure he knows this for a reason, but it's really flat out here. It's really hard to get close to him. I've killed a buck out in this flat before, and it can be tough hunting, especially if they don't have a hot doe, which he doesn't. He's searching for does. So we're gonna loop around to the other side and hope to cut him off. I think I know where he's going. Man, antelope. Nice antelope buck. Let's go check him out. Oh man, he sweeps back. Look at the bases on that buck. Gave us a good 350-yard shot straight on. Hit him right through the boiler room there and ran over the hill here and piled up. But look at the base on that. Just really heavy, heavy buck. Pretty good digger, but his circumference up here is real heavy. It's just what happens on a good year, you know. They had an easy winter. A lot of people don't realize antelope grow their horns during the winter, and so you kind of need the right year to push them up that extra 4 to 5 inches, but just a real mature buck. You can see how big his head is. DIY Colorado antelope. Put another nice one on the wall and some meat in the freezer, and gotta love it.
I just punched my tag. But it's only day 2 now, and Mike and Ike are still in pursuit. But Dad has his sights set on one buck in particular.
I don't think that's him. That ain't him, Guy. Not him. I didn't think so. We saw this real heavy buck and made a stalk on him. We're within 300, and he isn't the buck we're looking for. He is in the same area as that buck we saw while we were scouting before the season. But he just isn't big enough. We'll keep looking. He's gonna come in here. He's got a water here eventually, maybe this evening. So that's it.
All right, well, we've been hunting for a couple days here and found what we feel is a good buck. I mean, he looks really, really heavy on top. I mean, you won't know until we get closer than 2 miles. But this is the area we call the Moon, which has no roads within 4 miles of each side. And if you look across this thing, it's almost completely flat. It's extremely hard to stalk. And he's got a doe with him. But in our favor, over 2 hours of light left, and he's laying down. We're gonna try and pretend to be a fence post and walk along this fence until we can cross over in the bottom, and hopefully that'll get us in that 250, 300 yard range.
We got that buck that I've been looking for. He's over here on this ridge, and we spotted him over here about a quarter of a mile. And if you're in my book on hunting antelope, I talk about blockers. And this, we were able to sneak right up, and guys ranged him at like 250 yards because we walked straight towards this mound of dirt, which is a blocker. In other words, he can't see through this dirt mound. And now we're gonna slip up there, take Guy's pack, throw it down. I'm gonna have a dead rest, hopefully at 250 yards. Above each prong, they're that wide. It's bladed right there.
That's the buck?
That's a buck, I think. Yep.
Well, that was a great shot, Dad.
Well,
You, definitely showed the buck who was boss, 347 yards.
Well, that Creekmore 6.5 Savage, that gun is a shooter. It doesn't kick very much. We've been looking for this buck for 2 days.
Yeah.
He disappeared on us, and if I wasn't going to find this buck, I wasn't going to shoot one, unless I found one bigger, of course, but he really's got the tops. He's really heavy up here, nice prong. We put the tape on him, and he's going to rough in, gross maybe 83, 83 and a half. A great Colorado buck. Do it yourself. Now we're going to get him out of here and do some skinning and get back to camp.
My brother Ike is hunting a heavy-horned antelope buck he spotted on the final afternoon of our hunt. Let's see if Ike can finish the Eastmans Colorado antelope season 3 for 3.
faster than a regular antelope, a wounded one. Oh my gosh, what a stressful thing. I hate seeing animals wounded. I want one shot, one kill, cleanly. I didn't do it this time. He's broomed off on one side, guys. Got his ivories on the other. Oh, I've killed a lot of good bucks down here in Colorado, but this one is gonna be my best. Just remember, guys, things don't always go as you planned. Sometimes things unravel, and when it does, it unravels really fast. Keep your composure and slow down. And remember, fair chase was the only way to hunt and take trophy big game.